This American coming-of-age movie sees teenager Caitlin, played by Brooklyn Prince, desperate to stay at her family home after the divorce of her parents, and in order to get the money to afford the house, she and her best friend Adam, Che Tafari, steal a prize-winning pigeon from a local breeder and sell the bird to the Russian pigeon mafia. Yes, really. However, a bag left at the scene of the crime leads the breeder, Jan, played by Brian Cox, back to her. Rather than hand her in to the police, Jan tasks Caitlin with helping retrieve the bird. Whilst doing this, the young teen finds a somewhat mentor in Jan and begins to find interest in pigeon racing as an escape from her life worries and occasional suicidal thoughts. This is an odd little film, with some contrivances and diversions at times that don't always feel that they sit right within the somewhat realistic world setting it appears to want to be placed in. Is the Russian pigeon mafia a real thing? I've got no idea, but the idea that a school kid could get in contact with them and make shady deals seems a tad out of place, especially given the extremely tropish nature of the mob themselves. Would a break-in and theft not be reported to local law? Everything just seems staged, particularly in the first act, in order to place Cox and Prince together to form this mentorship bond. And it's at that point that the film grows into something more than the first act suggested. Prince, right from the start, delivers a compelling performance that can't fail to make you care for the teenage strife that she encounters. Feeling like an outcast at school, the divorce of her parents, and the upcoming sale of the family home clearly weigh heavily on her, with her only solace being in the friendship with Adam, her closest friend, who also has a crush on her. Had it not been for how easy Prince makes it to care for her character, the first act would have lost me entirely, as it seemed to be forcing the more wild aspects into what was otherwise a pretty standard coming-of-age drama. As mentioned, once Cox enters the picture, the two bond, and this is where the film really picks up, even though it doesn't offer anything particularly new. Cox is well placed in the part and brings some heavyweight ability to an otherwise generic affair. Little Wing isn't anything great, and it feels very much like a lot of the direct-to-streaming output of recent years. But it carries its charm and authenticity enough to offset the sometimes tonal imbalances on offer. Origin is a rather curious biographical drama that's presented in an almost documentarian manner. Based on the life of Isabel Wilkinson, as she writes Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents, it follows the writer's studies and explorations into the caste system of countries around the world as she tries to find whether race issues have something deeper to them and where it is that humanity gets the hatred that leads to alienating and demonizing an entire section of our own species. Anjanou Ellis-Taylor portrays Wilkerson, picking up at the start of the film as the writer has undergone personal tragedy and begins researching her book, and she plays the role in a heartfelt and honestly natural way. The documentary-like structure of the film means that there are no moments of hogging for the camera or staged dialogue exchanges. Instead, conversations are joined mid-discussion as we eavesdrop on the important moments that led to the book's development. Some occasional breaking away from the documentary feel are inserted, be it dreamlike visions of despair or reenactments of moments of history where caste and race issues have arisen. But all the while, the simple reality of the approach draws you in and allows you to digest the issues being presented. Ava DuVernay's film is not afraid to confront major issues and can be seen as a warning for where we are headed as a society in present day. Reflecting on hatred through history, it also includes, and indeed opens with, the shooting of Trayvon Martin in 2012, drawing aspects of the race issues we face today, questioning the truth behind the media propaganda. The heartfelt central performance gives an emotional connection to carry the film through, with personal tragedies drawing into the framework of the story, whilst the wider messages are hammered home to devastating and emotionally hard-hitting impact. Origin is an important film about an important writer who wrote an important book, and is recommended viewing as a reminder of who we are and where we are as a society, and how we need to learn our lessons of the past in order to become better.